But there was another bit of detail that nobody noticed today. You didn't see it on the 6pm news. You didn't see it on Taxpayer TV. You're hearing about it here, though. He wasn't even asked about this today. Remember how he was banging on about the gold standard of hotel quarantine? Well, we learned today that authorities knew there was a problem with the new version of hotel quarantine. So much so that the Work Cover Authority in Victoria had sent notices to hotel quarantine officials that they had to improve the system. This was done, by the way, in January. Not left over from the last system. This was the new system that wasn't good enough. They were sent improvement notices. And they were sent them to the Department of Health. They were sent to the quarantine system that's now in Victoria. The Age and Sydney Morning Herald has confirmed that WorkSafe inspectors had some concern about the movements of quarantine staff between red and green zones at Terminal 2 at the airport. So this happened. And this happened just a few days before Daniel Andrews told this lie.
I was to align many of the criticisms that have been levied with, over a long period of time, with what we do now. I'm very confident that we have a system that is worthy of being copied by others, and it is. If it was anything other than leading, and this is not about boasting, so this is just a fact. If it was anything other than one of the best systems, the AMA over in WA were calling it the gold standard. They're not terms I use, but that's what they said. If it was anything other than a good system, then I doubt very much that other First Ministers across the country would have agreed to copy it.
WorkSafe. One part of the Victorian government told another part of the Victorian government the new version of hotel quarantine wasn't up to scratch. He still goes out and says, oh, we're amazing, we're good. 4 days later, lockdown. The entire state, the entire city. When it just ended up being 6 local council areas, 5 of which were all clustered together in Melbourne. And of course, they can't tell us about this because they were upgrading their systems. Pull the other one, it plays Jingle Bells. And the bullshit continues. Because as you know, in New South Wales, and Peter Credlin's been doing a great job of telling you about this all night. Great show tonight, by the way, with Patient X. Go and check it out at skynews.com.au. Love your PC. Well done, team. The QR code system. Now, this is one that is pretty standard across the country, but in New South Wales, they have decided we're not going to have sort of one for this pub and one for that pub. Basically, all codes go back to a central app that New South Wales Health can automatically get access to, right? It means you don't have to muck around ringing this one, ringing that one. The data is all there. Yet in Victoria, they are still filling out pieces of paper when you go to places like pubs. This was Daniel Andrews warning people not to do that, as if another system hadn't been working for months about 1,000 k's up the road.
We have seen a few people. It's not everyone, and it's not a criticism as such, because I hope we can stop it from happening. But I just appeal to people, please write down your name and your phone number. Do that accurately. It takes just as long to write down numbers that aren't your real number.
Just be accurate and stuff. People aren't missing a number in their mobile phone or slightly misspelling their name. They're just taking the piss. The Herald Sun also had this report today, which is, among other things, people are writing things like their name being Mickey Mouse, Merry Christmas, delivery driver, Big Betty, Donald Trump, Elvis, and other joke names, joke numbers. This became such a problem that the Deputy Chief Health Officer, Dan O'Brien, says the dodgy information is very common, especially the manual sign-in forms. Half of it is not usual because people don't put their full details in. It's not useful because they don't put their full details in. They miss a number off their mobile phone or they put the wrong names in. Yeah, like Donald Trump. So, the back office of Victoria Health couldn't work out the local government areas where about 20 people with COVID-19 were. A hotel quarantine system was pinged by his own government as needing to improve, and people are still signing in when it comes to where they are, who they are, and it's an honour system. No wonder Andrew said this today.
But I can't stand here and be honest with people and say that this will never, ever happen again. Now, the day will come when I can say that, and that's when the Commonwealth Government's rolled out vaccine to 90-something% of people across the country. Then we'll be able to be as definitive as that, but that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, there will be more shutdowns because you're in charge.